What's happening, guys? New day. So today, a bit of a different one. I dropped some stuff off over my buddy Ryan over at Domar, who's going to make me a drive shaft for this fine hot rod. And I wanted to go over there and watch him make one. I've never seen that done in real life on like a fancy machine. I've seen guys do it in the car and stuff like that, but this is his job. A lot of you guys are asking about it anyway, so I thought I'll make a little video of it. He's a little panicked about cleaning up the shop. But just got home from work, changed my shirt. We're gonna head out there and well, he's gonna do all the work. I'm just gonna stand there and look pretty like usual. But yeah, we should be able to get it all dialed together, slamming in this thing. We're just waiting on some seats. Hopefully they'll be done shortly. And I'd like to get a glass guy to put the glass in before I mangle it all together. And yeah, we can kind of figure it out. Put this thing down, start beating on it. All right, see you at Domar. All right, so I just got the Domar here. Buddy Ryan, he's gonna be doing all the work. He's the looks and the brains. So this is all I dropped off. I dropped him off this with a measurement, so when it's too short, it's my fault. So he ordered the tube or whatever you want to call it, and then just the different ends and a couple of different U-joints, and it's all pretty standard stuff. Now what they typically do here is like big stuff, like semi-truck stuff and all that. So he appreciates when you guys drop off these little ones because he doesn't have to bench press them onto the vise or whatever he has to do. So I'm just gonna kind of follow him around and ask what has to be happening here, and he's gonna work his magic. Okay?
We'll get her done.
We'll get her done.
Build a drive shaft.
Build a drive shaft 101. So step one, we're just setting this thing up. Well, I'm not doing anything, but he's setting her up on the lathe. So you get the tube in whatever lengths it is. We cut her down the length I'd given him or whatever it's gonna be. And the bandsaw is not 100% true, so he's going to put in the lathe and make it 100% and square it right up. These fancy machines he's got here.
Fancy, fancy, man.
Those look original to years ago.
This is Christopher Columbus brought this lathe when he discovered America, I think. So we basically spin her a little bit here. It's going to be way the hell out. We know that. Straighten it a little bit.
Oh, so you just kind of do it by eyeball and tighten it up once it's...
Yeah, once she's running half straight. None of this tubing is exact, but we get her kind of as close as we can. And
so what would be considered close?
Like, well, once we get the ends in, I'm all about 5/1000ths run out or less.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's...
But this is kind of butchery here. Like we kind of get these tugs snugged up here, and we'll get her close. As soon as they touch, I mean, you're bouncing a little bit there, but kind of find your
whatever the closest is going to be type thing.
Is going to be, and
so you're going like 10 thou on either side almost.
Yeah, and once we kind of get it close, I mean, it just doesn't have to be perfect because all we're doing is just shoring it up, right? So we're not machining anything off of this.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that to me is going to probably be close enough.
Well, we got to be on like, this has got to be drive shaft 5. I've never had an issue.
No.
So whatever you do works for me.
It works. You know, I make it as straight as I can. And, yeah, basically the last end is spin it a bit, find the high spot here, and tighten down the top one.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Get her.
Oh yeah, so it's
pretty close. I mean, you're running within 10 thou, right?
Yeah.
So we kind of give them all a little snug here, and should be running half decent. A little bit of oil here so we don't mar it up. And see where we going here. Yeah, so if you look from here, everything's nice and straight.
Yeah.
Like I said, once we put the ends in after this.
Well, yeah, I see what you're saying there. The end here,
see how
you can see it do its little thing. So just trim it up and then it'll...
And this end's factory, like I told you.
Yeah,
that one
yeah.
But the ones we cut, we got to kind of go in there and do our thing.
So do you cut it just a little bit over? Like you're only taking a saw blade kind of worth out.
I take your measurement and I just add like 1/8 of an inch to it or whatever.
And then you're taking that out.
Take this off, we kind of touch off here. Going backwards. And we just flip the switch and let the lathe do its thing. probably take 2 cuts. I don't like to take too much off of one.
Yeah. Yeah,
You can
perfect.
see it's kind of touching and not, right?
It's like oblong and it's going to make it perfectly true.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter, like I say, if it runs out.
Yeah.
But I just like to do it like this, you know, everything's nice and straight.
Yeah.
True.
Oh, we'll bring her back when she's nice and straight.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, so we got the shaft out. We're all trued up. Now, pretty simple. He's just going to pound in the end yokes, right?
Easy peasy.
And then we're going to get them kind of tacked in. I guess we'll show that next step. But.
Yeah, that'll put them in here. It's basically, you know, you put her here. It's not a whole lot of pounding and banging, really. You just kind of
So it's,
line her up. I kind of go, you know, I'll look around, little high spot here.
yeah.
Kind of, once I get her kind of straight, and she goes.
Yeah, so no different than pounding in a seal or anything like that,
Same
really.
like that. There's no fancy drivers or.
Yeah.
As long as you don't beat on it with your sledgehammer, you should be good.
All right, well, we'll get these pounded in and see how it goes. All right, so both ends are in, pretty simple. He leaves about 1/8, because that's where the weld's gonna go. They're all trued up, kind of eyeballed in. So that's pretty much it. What's the next step now?
Now we're gonna throw the slip yoke on it, install the U-joint,
Okay.
and we're gonna take it over to the lathe. I got these fancy little pins here
Yeah.
that I use to center them. So these 2 butts here go into the snap ring grooves. It's gonna center machined in it. So I chuck this end with the slip,
Yeah.
and I put this end in here.
Oh,
Put our
yeah.
live center in here, and everything's.
And then you're
nice and
100%
straight.
true.
And then we put our dial on these surfaces here, and
And you're gonna do the same thing, knock it with a hammer or whatever
Bang her
until
straight.
it's
You
straight,
betcha.
tack it in, and then,
tack it in and weld her
just
up and
burn her in.
see how bad she warps.
All right, well, I guess we'll just we'll get her set up on the lathe again, and we'll go from there.
See you there.
All right, so we're back at the lathe, and pretty simple. So he got the yoke in, so we've got that, and then this little piece he's built, which is kind of acting as a faux U-joint, which is obviously drilled or whatever it is, dead center. So now we know it's center to center, and we're gonna do the same thing with the dial gauge.
See how straight we got it at first? I always like to challenge myself.
The old eyeball test.
Not too bad, right off the bat. She's running out, which is not too bad. We'll throw a dial here.
Do you do one then the other, or try and get them both?
I do them both
At the same time?
Yeah, then you know you're good on both. So let's see how bad we did here. This end's about 30. Not bad. Under high spot and a little tap.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
We get her like
That's
that.
like basically
basically one
perfect.
foul.
Yeah.
But once we weld it, it's gonna move, so kind of. This one's not too bad. This one's within about 12. Close enough, pretty
Just
well.
that simple, eh?
And this one's still within 2 or 3.
And now, so when you're gonna do it, you're just gonna kind of tack it in all 4 corners back and forth,
Tag it 4 spots, both sides.
so it's not gonna move as little with the heat as possible.
It won't move too much. You'd be surprised.
Yeah.
Usually this end, for some reason, I don't know if it's more rigid here, barely moves. This end, yeah.
Just a little bit.
Let's see, we'll throw a couple beads on her and
See what happens.
see what happens with it.
All right, well, let's get welding.
Weld her up.
All right, so she all burned together, and we cool her off with some water. So now dials are back on. And just give her a little spinny spin.
Yeah, see, this is a welded tube here.
Yeah.
You can see
It's got a little bit.
false.
Yeah.
And this is within 5 thou.
Yeah.
This one too, without the bounce.
So it's
So to me, we'll be fine. We'll throw this in right on the balancer.
We'll see how it
Might need
goes.
a tiny weight.
yeah.
Looking how it's running, I think we're gonna be pretty
Well,
good.
all right, slap it on the
See what
balancer.
happens.
All right, so we got this thing all chucked up on the balancer, I guess. So pretty simple. It's kind of like a lathe on this side where the, slip yoke or whatever would be. And then this is like a simulated to the rear end basically, right? Whatever this little piece is. So that's all it's going to do. He's going to fire it up and it does its thing, I guess. I'm not going to lie, we already did it, and this one actually is balanced out perfect. So this thing will turn like 3,000 RPM.
It's 2,000 right there.
It's happy. And a lot of it's just kind of by feel and eye, right?
See, if you crank the sensitivity way up, even now it's not showing.
Oh yeah.
If you crank it way, way up, so it'll kind of give you a strobe. I don't know if the camera really picked that up.
Yeah.
And then,
but it's barely hitting there.
Barely hitting. So I mean, we always run it here, and this is well within the green.
Yeah. So is that just kind of, that's just doing the like a vibration kind of
basically
thing?
Unbalanced.
Yeah.
In the red, we're well within the green. This one's not even registering.
So it's damn near nothing.
You don't have to put any weights on here.
All right, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna stop it. Just gonna weld a weight on real quick just to show what it'll look like if it was out to lunch. But I guess the masters here probably don't even have weights in stock. They have a special order him. He does such good work here. Yeah, we'll get this buzzed on. We'll bring her back. So here's what we've done. Just simulated a weight, just taped it on, so we're not gonna mess around welding it, taking it all off, and I guess crank her up and this
show you what a vibration looks like.
Oh yeah, so you can see.
Now you can see here.
Yeah. Oh, you can hear it.
You can even hear it.
Yeah.
Rattles all this.
Yeah, I see.
Now, to tell, like it strobes your light here, right?
Yeah.
So if this
it's at the same sensitivity and strobing where it wasn't when the weight was off.
Exactly. So now it's showing number 6. So if we were to actually balance the shaft,
you'd put a number 6.
We come over here and you look in this window, you can't really see it, but the numbers are there too.
Okay, yeah.
So it's calling for weight at number 6.
And how much weight would you then put on?
Then we start with small ones here.
So you
ounce,
you'd make it so like
gram.
number 6 would be at 12 o'clock.
Basically, you look right at it.
And you'd put a little...
Tape it, run it again, see. Like I say, I extra care for them on the lathe, make sure they're straight.
Yeah.
And you don't have to mess around with this stuff. It's
well,
the way I like it. And it looks cleaner too.
Yeah.
Don't get a bunch of weights welded on it. And
that's why I keep coming back, man. No problem.
Now we're going to give us the old Dan 220 treatment here and give her the buff.
Shine her up.
Shine her up nice. And,
so, yeah, I always feel bad because you always give me such a nice looking drive shaft and I put it right under the car and immediately do burnouts.
Well, that gives you extra horsepower. That, right?
All right, let's get her shined up. And here's the guy going the extra mile. Polishing her right up to brand new.
A little easier with the balancer, you get her spinning nice, you know?
Yeah.
Make sure you see a reflection in there by the time we're done.
Is that the key?
That's 220.
There you go.
For DD.
So there we go. All back together, taped up, shined up. Man, I appreciate it as always. So all your, well, semi trucks if that's what you're into, but he likes doing the hot rod stuff. It's nice, easy lifting. He said 4x4 trucks, custom shafts. What else is there that you like doing? Anything and everything?
Anything and everything.
If you have,
small, I do them all. That's my motto.
if you got money, he'll take it from you.
That's right.
All right, guys. Well, that's it for this one. I'll jam her in the car when we get home. All right. Well, we made her home. Shockingly, actually, I've been home for a while, cleaning up garbage, and then had some supper and all sorts of things. Man, look at this thing. I gotta tell you, that Ryan guy, he's a wizard with drive shafts. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and slap this sucker in. Hopefully it fits. It is my measurements, so they have to be accurate. Yeah, just that easy. Go hit them up or make your own or do whatever you gotta do. But we'll slide in there, put it in, end the video. Ooh, there she be. So it's in. I'm happy with it. Looks damn fine. Another good drive shaft by my good buddy Ryan. So yeah, that's where I'm leaving it. Oh god, I'm stuck. That was kind of a cool video. Let me know if you guys like that. Honestly, I love this kind of stuff. One of my favorite shows growing up. Not to take it too bad, but remember Dirty Jobs with Mike Rowe? And he'd go and just screw around, do a job for like a day. That'd be like the dream job. Do someone else's job for like 2 days, so it's still fun and not boring. And that's what I had tonight. I just love it. So thanks for letting me tag along there, Ryan. I appreciate it. You guys should all check him out. And yeah, more Dodge stuff. We'll be back after it. Still waiting on exhaust. Still waiting on interior, whatever I said there. We're getting there. Hopefully we'll be doing burnout shortly. See you in the next one.